Question for you guys. Would you like for me to show you a fun, inexpensive way to get beautiful skin with kombucha? Well, I hope that you said yes, because in this video I'm going to show you 3 different ways to make a kombucha face mask. I've been using SCOBY face mask for about 5 years now, on and off, and the benefits are really amazing. The first thing it does is that it hydrates the skin, which makes it more elastic. It evens out the tone, and it increases circulation. You want to increase circulation because that's going to move the oxygen around, which is going to get the nutrients going as well. Before I show you the face mask, I did want to go over some precautions. Because everyone's skin is a little bit different, you may want to, when you try this for the first time, do it at night and on a day where you don't have anything planned the next day. I've never had a bad experience with it. I've never broken out or had some type of reaction. But since everyone's skin is different, I would suggest that you just take that precaution. You will notice that your skin may be a little bit more flushed, and that's from the circulation. So that's why I recommend doing it at night. By the time I wake up in the morning, it's gone, and the skin tone is actually a lot more even. Okay, so the first method is really simple. And you're just gonna take a piece of SCOBY pieces. I just have one here for the demonstration, and place it on your face. Now the SCOBY holds a lot of liquid from the kombucha, so I would recommend when you do this, laying down and have a towel underneath you so that it catches the kombucha. Otherwise, it's going to get all over your pillow and make a mess. But I will demonstrate here on my arm. And I also wanted to show you this because SCOBYs work really well for burns. So if you don't have any aloe, but you have SCOBY, place it on there as soon as you can. So I'm just going to place some on my arm here, and that's all you would do. And leave it for 5 or 10 minutes. You don't really need to leave it for a long time. If it can become quite intense because of the acids. So if you experience any burning sensations, just remove it and wash it off with some lukewarm water. Okay, the second method for a SCOBY face mask, what we're going to do is we're just going to blend up a SCOBY with some kombucha vinegar. So in here I have a half a cup of SCOBY and 1/3 cup of kombucha vinegar. You can use a blender, or I'm going to use an immersion blender. Please be careful with these things. They're very dangerous and very powerful. I guess I can. So here is the SCOBY mask for the second method, and that's all it is. And you would take that and spread it onto your face. Let me show you a little bit here if I can. Here it is, kind of like a jelly, but it goes onto the skin smoother than just putting the pieces on there. Like you can put this on and still walk around. The third method, and I came up with this about 5 years ago, like I said, I've used it on and off, is we're just going to add a few ingredients. So we have our combination of the SCOBY and kombucha vinegar. I'm going to add a ½ tablespoon of carrier oil. Today I'm going to use sweet almond oil. You can use any type of oil. Some other ones I like to use are meadow foam, olive oil, rosehip. You get the idea. So my skin is in between oily and normal. So like I said, I'm going to use a ½ tablespoon. If you have drier skin, you may want to consider using a tablespoon. Or if your skin is oily, maybe using 1 teaspoon. So 1 teaspoon equals a tablespoon. So you can just add 1 teaspoon at a time until it becomes a consistency that you like. The other ingredient is called silk peptides. I did not know this, but did you know that silk is from the silkworm, and it's the material gathered when the silkworm makes the cocoon? I had no idea about that. Did you guys know that? So it's not vegan. So my vegan friends, you can obviously leave this part out. The reason I like to use silk peptides is, first, it has some great benefits. It's high in antioxidants, it's extremely hydrating for the skin, and it helps balance moisture. It also makes the mask a little bit smoother. So if we were to use the second option where it was just the SCOBY and the kombucha vinegar, it's a little clumpy. So in some spots it would be smooth and then you'd have chunks like here and there. With this silk peptide, it just makes it go on a lot smoother. So I've already measured it out. So I have a teaspoon of the silk peptides, not silk peptides. And then I'm just going to give it a quick stir. So the bottom one is the mask with the silk peptides. As you can see, it looks a little bit smoother and nicer. So when I'm ready for bed this evening, after I've taken off my makeup, I'm going to give you a little demonstration of how I apply my mask. I usually do it in the evening before my evening rinse off. I remove any eye makeup if I'm wearing it that day, and I place it on my face, obviously my neck, and my décolleté area, because this is usually the area that's exposed to the sun and the other elements. You could always put it on your arms. My mom was here the other day, and I had her try it on her arm, and the whole time she's here, she kept saying, "Oh, my arm feels so smooth." So if you want to use it on your legs, your heels, wherever, go ahead and use it. I think you'll really like it. I also wanted to mention that if it has been sitting for maybe a week or two and you want to freshen it up, just pour a little bit of kombucha vinegar into it to add some new bacteria and yeast to the mix, because it's still going to be fermenting. So whatever you put into the mix is going to ferment. And the last thing is, if you want to make your own concoction, so some other things you could use, like I already said, you can use any carrier oils that you would like. You can also add some essential oils. You could add in some clay, like I don't know if I would use bentonite clay. That's a little harsh, less forgiving, but kaolin clay would be a good option, any green clays. And you could also add in aloe vera. I would add them in small increments because you want to make sure that you have enough bacteria and yeast from the kombucha to ferment whatever you're putting in there. The reason I say that is you don't want mold. One last thing. So I made a SCOBY mask once, 2016, I think, and it was this recipe without the silk peptides. It did have aloe in it, and I let it sit for a year just to see what would happen, and it never did get mold. I didn't use it at the end. I guess I could have, but the reason I'm telling you is because keep in mind it's a ferment, so it's going to keep fermenting. So you should be good. I'll see you in a little bit. End of the evening, and I'm going to show you how to apply the SCOBY mask. This is the third mask that I showed you how to make right here. I like to use a spoon to scoop it out, just because even though my hands are clean, I don't want to introduce any foreign bacteria into the mix, because we don't have a preservative in there. So I'm just going to take about a scoop, place it onto my palm, and then apply to the face. Also, I almost forgot to say this. I think that you don't have to do this, but what I do is I give it intention. So whatever I'm putting on my skin, I put an intention that it's going to make my skin beautiful. It's going to make my skin healthy. It's going to make me healthy. And that I appreciate it. I'm not saying it's gonna make your skin better, but it could make your skin better, and I do believe that. Another thing I do every day is I thank my body. All of my body, like all of my parts. And it doesn't have to be a long process. Usually in the shower, and I touch that area. So I'll like hug my front, all the organs inside, hug my back, which is also good for shoulder flexibility. Okay, so I think I did a good job of covering my face. Get my neck here and my décolleté. And don't forget, if you want to use it on other areas, everybody, go right ahead. SCOBY mask does not discriminate. Okay, so there are some little chunks, but not too many, and that silk peptides really helps that. So I'll see you in about 5 or 10 minutes. I just got done rinsing my face off. I let the mask sit for about 6 to 7 minutes. And I don't know if you can tell a difference, but I can definitely feel a difference. So my cheeks are a little red, right? My forehead is a little red, and that's okay. That's the increased circulation. It's good for the skin. And it'll be an even tone when I wake up tomorrow. So there you have it, my SCOBY mask. I hope that you enjoyed the video. If you'd like to see more videos like this, please leave me a comment and let me know. I know how to make lots of different lotions and body butters. They might not have kombucha in them, but I can still show you how to make them, face moisturizers, things like that. So again, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this and you would like to learn more about kombucha and things you can do with kombucha, hit the subscribe button. If you enjoyed it, hit the like button also, and I will see you in the next video.